right? The career of the musician does not end with just the music. And this is why we have these conversations, so we can understand the different worlds that exist that tie us and bring us together as artists and creatives, right? Like I said, we're the musicians, and we want to know more about these worlds that exist, that we coexist with. And that's the point of Let's Touch Base, our incredible panel discussions. Why is everybody on my team smiling at me? What's going on? All right, cool. All right, cool. So I want to introduce today's topic. As you can see, I will not be alone. We're going to make this a very serious conversation. I'm joking. It's going to be very wholesome. We're touching base. So tonight's topic, homies, is artists' image isn't decoration. No, wait, that's not the topic. Hold on. I stand. Where did I put the topic, Tibza? Is it in our chat? Hold on. I'll find it. Give me a second. Crafting the artist image and style as strategy. You guys hear that? Crafting the artist image and style as strategy is our topic for this evening. Artist image isn't decoration. It's language. This panel unpacks how personal style shapes perception, storytelling, and longevity in music. In this conversation with this incredible stylist who will be joining us, they work closely with artists. They build and explore worlds and how image supports sound, builds identity, and helps artists show up with intention across stages, screens, and culture. Make some noise for that. Come on. Give me my flowers. What do you mean? Okay. Dianco. So, tonight's expert is a South African patron saint of pink. A bold, culture-shifting stylist known for turning fashion into statement and identity into art. From music videos to red carpets, this expert builds iconic visual worlds rooted in play, confidence, and fearless self-expression. Ladies and gentlemen, and everybody in between, Phuti Styles doesn't just style looks. She shapes image, narrative, and impact. Make some noise for Phuti Styles. There we go.
Hello. Can you guys hear me? Oh, there we go.
Say hi, Phuti.
Hi, guys.
How does it feel to be an expert? I mean,
I was actually there. I was like, wow, that's me.
That's you, bro. Like, the work speaks for itself.
Crazy.
Crazy. You can be at a festival with 10,000s, 100,000s of people, and you're like, oh, there's Phuti. Very iconic. Very intentional, very much appreciated, by people who gravitate to that sort of thing. So thank you for the work that you do. Thank you for your time this evening. I will open you up with your first question.
Okay.
So in your experience styling artists, how does a carefully considered visual identity elevate a musician's narrative and connect more deeply with their listeners? Thoughts?
Okay, so I don't know if you guys know the saying, "Ujaka matlo," like you eat with your eyes. I feel like with music, what's lucky about music is that people can actually hear you before they see you. So you do have that, little passage where it's like, oh, people are hearing you. But then when it comes to like music video and stuff, like that's where it translates now to a bigger platform visually. So from the music to visuals, what does that look like? So that's the importance of it. It's like, okay, from hearing you and not seeing you, what is in your world? Like, because sometimes like you listen to a song and then you watch the music video and you can be very disappointed to be like, actually, that's not what I thought when I was listening to the song, So yeah, that's very important.
No, you've touched on something incredible. Firstly, can we make some noise for that? She spoke, and that's the least. Listen, I think it's so important what she said about, eating with your eyes first. It's said that our eyes are our most dominant sense. You're very intentional about seeing. You can't decide, oh, I don't want to listen to that person, ears closed. You can't decide, oh, the thing is in my mouth, I want to untaste it. You can't. But with your eyes, you can close your eyes. You can blur things out. So it's very important, the role that stylists like Phuti Styles play in just defining what someone's first interaction is with artists. Now, there's a lot of artists that we work with who having their first time on our stage, maybe releasing some of their first songs. So newer artists who are trying to navigate and be intentional about those things. So when working with artists who are still discovering their voice, what are the first visual elements you focus on to help them build a consistent and memorable image?
There's actually a lot you can start with, but for me, I feel like color. I would say color is quite easy to start with. It's so easy. Like, there's a lot of people who wear black, and like this person, I always meet them, they're wearing black. You meet me, I always wear pink. That's so easy. I once went to this other, it was actually Desiree's Mino, and there's this girl, she's like, she taps me, and then I'm like, hey, and then she's like, hey, I'm actually visually impaired, but like I know it's you. And I was like, what do you mean by that? It's like she can see like blurry, but like because of how I was dressed and she had met me before, she's like, I could recognize like this is the girl I've seen before. So like for someone like that to tell me those things, I was like, oh, actually color is quite a very big part and quite an easy element to start with as an artist. You can also start with textures like leather, like you can start with traditional fabrics. You can start with just like one small thing that's accessible to you. If you like to thrift, like people start with denim. Like it's easy to start with denim. You can like, and then when it comes to like visuals, like music videos or anything, you can start with like either you want to do black and white, or maybe you have like a certain red tint in your music videos, or you have like color. Yeah.
And it sets a very intentional tone as well, kind of what you're getting into. But I want to quickly pose a question to some artists that I see in the room. Vertical, what color are you as a musician, would you say, if you had to, off the top? Green leather.
Yeah, textures.
Okay.
So he's doing textures.
Okay, texture.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say that because he's wearing a leather jacket.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Leather shoes, like suede, like
Okay.
like a biker vibe. I
with
already
you.
understand like
Yes.
where you're going, like where your world is at,
Okay.
like easily. Yeah. So texture also works.
Amongst the people I know, color?
I'm those black ones that Phuti was referring to. That people.
Oh, all
always
black.
wearing
Okay.
Oh, black.
But I'll tell you now. I'm always naked, so try to make
Hey,
it
a little sexy.
Yeah.
Like I would say like also the five senses.
Oh, yes.
Some people use scent. You can use like being sensual. You can like those elements. You can
Of
use
course.
those things like touch. Because
Yes.
So yeah, like it's like a great one. Like you don't think like we've learned about these things.
And look, Phuti, when I think about stylists, I always think, obviously, it is the first one that once you described, but when you just tapped into the multi-sensory, it's interesting because I've got this theory that says that our most memorable moments are multi-sensory moments. Like you've touched, tasted, smelt, seen, and there's one I'm forgetting. Heard. Yeah, so those, that's why we also prioritize live experience. We have the music on streaming platforms, and the digital age has also pulled away all these senses, unfortunately. But when we come into live, we can experience something multi. So to understand that even someone like you, approaches something as, a visual as styling in a multisensory way, explains why you're here and why you're our expert for the evening. So, your visual identity, your specific one, especially your bold use of pink, it's become iconic. People who are visual impaired can see you, and whatnot. So if you were to recommend something to artists building a signature look, and how would they truly reflect who they are through that thing rather than following trends?
Okay. I don't think it's bad to follow trends. There's a smart way to do it. And I think on the trends part, I'll get to the initial question. But the trends part is like, you also don't want to get stale. Like you want to, still catch something, but don't catch all of it, like with the trends. Like there's a way to do it. But in general, I would say start with like who you are. Like what are your personal things like that you personally like on your everyday life? Those are the things like, do you actually like wearing black? Do you actually like, you know, going out, doing what? Like, when you're making your music, like, what does your world look like? Are you thinking, okay, we're going out, but then I want to wear, I don't know, a mini skirt, but like, is that you? You know, like, so start with the things that you personally love and you value. Have values as well, like, as a musician, like, you're also like a brand and a company in a way, right? So brands have mottos, they have values, they have like political opinions and stuff, right? So have those things. Like if you look at Fela Kuti and stuff, like people like that, they had values and their visual identity represent those things. So like stuff that you personally like and enjoy. That's how you should start.
I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm gonna just open it. Okay, let's give a round of applause for that because that was she cooked. Because it's the two of us, I'm gonna just open it up to some questions. Do we have any questions that have? Okay, we've got one over there. Anita has a question. Absolutely. Thank you. ID number, age. Where you? Okay.
That's so crazy. Hi, Phuti. I love your style. I think you look great. I've been following you on TikTok for a moment. So I'm just curious because you have a very distinct, you know, like visual identity. And I think obviously the pink is like, it's like the click sound to your fashion, the way that the click sound is to the Xhosa language, you know? And so I'm so curious why you chose pink. What are you trying to communicate? Like, what is it for about you?
I get asked this question a lot. I still haven't found the right answer. But I feel like pink is such a significant color throughout like history. I mean, in World War II, it was part of the camouflage vans. So they could camouflage in like the deserts. Like so like pink has been part of war and it's been part of like gender identification, politics, like women's rights, like cancer, like it just reflects so many things that I am interested in. So yeah, and I think it's pretty, it's cute, looks good on me. You know, I'm like, yeah, why not? You know? So yeah, it just has a lot of layers, and I feel like every time I discover another layer, and before when I used to not wear it, I didn't necessarily feel like myself like that, you know? And then I was like, actually, when I'm wearing this color, I feel like I can be brighter, I can be nicer to people, you know? Maybe it's like my coping mechanism, like, but like, yeah, it's personal to me. But the more I do research, I'm like, what an interesting color. So yeah.
If you were to bottle up Phuti styles, what would that? It's gonna sound weird. My bad. What would that taste like? Because I mean, on sensory perception,
Taste.
You know, yeah.
Oh my goodness. It would definitely taste sweet. I would say a bit of. I love watermelons. Like I like the smell of watermelons. When I was young, like so. It's refreshing. Like I'm refreshing, a breath of fresh air. Like. Yeah.
Okay. So why I ask artists and enthusiasts in the room is because, you know, once you almost understand what your product tastes like or your brand tastes like, it also opens now a door for what kind of brand alignments exist to you. Like one of my favorite colors, contrary to popular belief, is orange. Well, my ultimate favorite color. I mean,
we can see.
Yeah. Yes. So, you know, I have an idea what kind of brands would make sense and fit cohesively, you know. Maybe you're walking on a touch-up and then everybody's just being served chicken leg and we don't know, you know. Or and then you get like a bottle of Fanta Orange, just like complimentary, things like that. Once you have an idea of how people can experience your brand and the different sensory perceptions, you know, it does kind of light bulb moment, you know. So I'm trying to think. When I eat a Phuti styles, you know, it starts on my tongue for some reason. That's what it's giving. Sorry, I just needed to get that out of my system. So listen, when working on major projects like music video styling, right? You immerse yourself in the context and culture of the story. How can an artist intentionally integrate their local influences into their image so it resonates both visually and culturally?
How can an artist integrate like culturally and all those things?
Yeah.
I feel like go outside, like, do you like actually be on the internet, but not chronically like on the internet. But do your research as well. Like as an artist, what type of artist are you? And the artists before you. Do the research with the artists before you that are making similar work, right? That way, it's like you can use those cultural moments that they had to your own advantage. Like, because it's been done before. Like, you're not the first artist. Like, so actually learn from the greats, do that. And then the way you can integrate, like, obviously don't appropriate, like, do bar for bar, like, exactly what, they're doing. But like I said, make it personal. Look around you, see what resonates, pick, and then, yeah, take that. Yeah.
I need to hear the question.
Hi, guys. So my question is, I don't know, a bit roundabout. So I believe in the value of stylists just as a kind of brand building contributor. But I feel like a lot of artists, and this isn't just music artists, but artists like fine artists, film people, a lot of people think that being stylish in and of yourself is enough to eliminate the need for a stylist. And I would like to hear from a professional stylist what you think that the value add that a stylist brings to the story that you're telling as an artist.
I would say it kind of alleviates you thinking about your outfit. Like as an artist, right? You as an artist, you're supposed to be focusing on making the music, performing, making sure your vocals are right, like making sure your stage presence is good, like working out, making sure you can actually perform for hours and stuff like that, right? So you don't have that much time to be calling, like, I don't know, please send me a dress, what. You're sending out emails to Diesel, like, hey, please, I want what. Especially if you're trying to become a bigger artist, like, you need to learn how to delegate as an artist. Like, so the more you grow, in the beginning, you can, like, because you can't necessarily, like, afford a stylist, but in the beginning, you can style yourself, and that will help an art, like a stylist in the future, because you've already been doing this yourself. You know what that looks like. But I know it can be difficult to let go, like, and be like, oh, I'm gonna trust this person to understand the vision that I have for myself. That's why it takes a while, like for me and my clients, to like get to that point where we know exactly like your brand, because it's like a back and forth. We're trying out, some artists, like, they dance a lot. So certain things I can't put them in because now this thing is gonna start flying. The dress is too short. It's moving up. Like, you're a dancer and you are moving. You're sweating, And if you sweat a lot, you can't do wigs all the time because they might just melt off. Like, so there's things that as we're working together, we're seeing we can't do. So yeah, it's like a working relationship, like back and forth. Yeah.
Please make some noise for that. I really enjoyed that. So, Phuti, I want to find out, what do artists who aren't terribly intentional about their styling stand to lose in the grander scheme? If you're not caring about how you're, presenting yourself visually and stylistically, what do you stand to lose, possibly?
You're just gonna fall through the cracks. We're gonna forget you. Like, that's it. We are gonna forget.
Yeah.
Yeah, sadly so. Like, there's great artists. Like, I think in South Africa we're very talented. Like, a lot of people can sing, right? But like, what does that look like in the grand scheme of things for the future? Are you trying to be an icon, or you just someone that can sing?
That word. Sorry, you cooked. Icon. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you. Continue. My bad.
Yeah, like, icon status is like being rememberable, and if you have a message to tell, and if that's what it takes to have like a stylist, a creative director, then you're gonna have to do those things. Yeah.
And sorry, because that word icon is so important, because a lot of the artists that are our favorite artists are icons a lot of the time. You know, they've ticked so many of these boxes, from the music to the performance to their styling, you know, to their brand messaging. Everything is cohesive, you know, very intentional. So now, why is it important to be an icon?
I don't think it's important. I don't think it's important. I think it's just if that's what you want. Unfortunately, like, if you're going to be an artist, like for me as a stylist, I don't have to be iconic because I'm in the background. I can be in the background. I can disappear. Like, I can decide tomorrow I'm gonna cut my hair. Like, I'm no more wearing pink. I disappear. You will never recognize me in the crowd. I can decide to do that, right? But if you're an artist, you have a responsibility that you have this talent. You want to be on stage, like, you know, it kind of leads to being an icon. You know, and that's why I'm like, some people can sing, they have the talent, they have the voice, but do you want to be famous? Do you want to be an artist? Because that's the, you know, the goal.
Look, right? I hear you.
That's why I'm like, it's not that important.
So here's my thing.
You can pick where you want to be.
So here's
in
my
the spectrum.
I think if you don't want to be an icon, what are we doing? No, I'm joking. I just mean, like, you know, being an icon is more a byproduct of all your efforts combined.
100%.
You don't necessarily say, okay, cool, I need to be an icon. I mean, you can aspire to be one, but it means you still have to tick all those boxes, right? Tick all those boxes that make you iconic, that make you recognizable, you know. Even if your goal wasn't to be iconic, Phuti Styles, you are. You are now, whether you like it or not. You can't return it. You can't make some noise for Phuti Styles. I'm gonna open up for a few more questions. Do I have any more questions? I've got a question back there. I've got a question right there, and I've got a question right there. I've got three. Let's get into those, and yeah, let's get more of this info.
Testing.
Good morning.
morning. My name is Letso Kanya. Beautiful conversation. So I have a question. You mentioned, Phuti, you mentioned growth and also letting go. So what happens when there comes a point you grow out of the color pink and now you feel that, you know, maybe I'm at a stage in my life where I want green now or whatever color. How do you make that transition? How do you, you know, announce yourself in this new color? Because now you've seen this brand or known you're renowned for pink. So how do you move from the pink and now announce the new color or your new self with this new color?
I like that question. Like, I've been thinking about it. Because I've been wearing pink like 7 years straight, like every day, 20, like, and it's crazy. I'm running out of pink clothes. Send me pink clothes. Kadlal. But it's okay to rebrand. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with rebranding, but you need to rebrand to be better. There's no way you're gonna rebrand and the rebrand is not eating as your current brand. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, if we are going to rebrand, it has to be like now I'm beyond what you used to know. You get what I'm saying? And when you're rebranding, people like to disappear. You know, you taking a haters, like, think about it, you know, kumbaya vibes, and then suddenly you come 2 years later, you're somebody else. Lovely. That can work for a lot of people. Sometimes it can be gradual. For instance, maybe if I'm trying to transition, I could start wearing like a lot of pink and green, like adding another color, because I'm trying to transition to green. So now I'm like, you're seeing it, but you're not aware that I'm slowly subtracting the other color. So that's how you could, like, you know, rebrand. But rebranding is totally okay. Don't be scared to rebrand. I think you should actually consider it if you're thinking about it. Am I telling myself that? Kadla. But yeah, just think about it and see if that's what you really want to do. But it has to be better than your previous brand.
Hello, my name is Aviwe. My question is based on the styling. So, how do you style someone without putting them in things that you would wear? Yeah.
I think picking pink was great. I'm actually nervous in styling like other artists in pink to a point where like I'll have actual arguments with them like, no, I don't think you should wear that pink dress. They'll be like, no, I love it. I think it's amazing. And I'll be like, Because I always think other people that watch the person, they'll be like, Phuti styled her. And then she just took from her wardrobe. But actually, I intentionally try not to do it. But there are people who are actually just like, no, I actually want to wear this pink item. It's okay. But as a stylist, I think do not try to put your artist in what you would wear. I think I'll make an example with like Leah Butler. I feel like how I've been working with her and styling her, it's not what I would necessarily wear, but it's something that's true to her that we've both kind of like, you know, me and the team, we're all like researching and thinking about, like I said, colors, textures, what she's trying to convey. You know, because pink for me can be very punk, like I said, watermelon, because it has those seeds that are a bit black. Like I'm a bit punk, you know. I have that little edge. I like a bit of sexiness. So if you're gonna sing like Neo Zulu or jazz, it's not necessarily punk all the time, or is it? It can't be sexy. So it's like, even if I will style the person in pink, it's just how I'm putting it together in terms of the elements that it's not translating to my personal style, unless that's what they want. Yeah. So. It's possible. It's possible. But I do see a lot of stylists styling artists like themselves, because sometimes artists actually ask for that. And that's the battle. Like, because you're trying to convince them, no, like, I think you should try that. But like, oh, I like how you're dressed. I want to dress like you. So then it's like, ish.
Thank you.
Ish, what are we? Yeah, then it becomes a bit tricky.
Okay. No, thank you for that. We had a question over there.
Yes. Hi, Phuti. So 2 questions. One,
Yo, hi, Mawena.
two questions.
Questions.
Okay, 1.5 questions. So there is fashion, the style, and there is fashion, style, and trends. Like, you know, things that are trendy that happens, you know, and I have my own personal style, and you know, when I want to perform and I want to make a statement, I will generally wear things that you will never catch me wearing on a day-to-day, you know. That is not my silhouette. So a lot of the artists that you've been working with, you've started with them when they were like not as big as they are right now. So how do you convince a person like Bai Lwangster to say, you know, like, I think the Vans and the T-shirts are not working. You know, let's do some Grotman look for the, like. How do you convince someone who feels like, oh, but that's not me. It's not me. This is, you know, what measures, or like that trust? How do you build it with a person? You know.
You have to start small. Like, be gentle. I think another thing is styling is personal. Like, and you're in someone's personal space. And you can also deal with a lot of like insecurities of your clients. Like, you know, they're also not sure because they've never tried that. So you kind of, I baby them, I would say. Like, hey, like, do you want to try this? Like, see how you feel, wear it, see how you feel. If they're not comfortable, we try something else. So it's like a lot of trial and error. But the minute you ask me to do my job, you're going to have to let me to do my job also. Like, I need to, you called me because I could have been chilling at my home if you were fine. You needed my help. So now I'm here and I have to do my job. And I will tell you the truth. Like, this is not working. But it's nothing personal. I'm not here to hurt your feelings. But, you know, you called me because you want to be better. So, yeah. Trial and error.
Ooh, that was tough. Madam?
Testing.
This isn't a question, actually. I just wanted to say that a lot of people think just because they're stylish, they can be stylists. And that's not how it is. Just because you wake up, dress good, you eat, does not mean you can actually style other people. For example, Phuti styles, when she is styling people, she actually does the research. It's not, hi, I wake up and go source and put this. She actually, for example, she styles Leah Butler. And she uses like Leah's cultural context, being Zulu, she uses the prints, she uses the mats. It's like she actually does her research. It's not, hey, I think brown would look good and let's go with that. And I think a lot of stylists in the creative space we have right now is just, oh, you have a good fit and let's run with it, guys. And then you call yourself a stylist and creative director. People actually went to fashion school for this. People studied this. And I think research should be done. Like, if you want to be a stylist, the first thing is like, do your research, again, the grades. And yeah, it's just a big shout out to Phuti Styles.
Shout out, that's my girl Levo. She's actually the best producer, director ever. Shout out.
The question's done.
We're coming to you next. Do we have...
We have another question.
Oh,
He already asked the question, actually.
I'm gonna put a pin on that. Yeah.
Ask the question.
Hi, Phuti. How are you? I'm good. So my question is, it can be quite difficult to pick between a 9 to 5 and a creative path or a creative journey. What was the moment for you that made you decide that I'm going with the creative journey?
Whoa. I'll be honest. I've only had one job, and that one job, I was a fashion designer. No, not to say don't have other jobs. Hey, Lena, ish. No, but anyway, sorry. So I've only, like, my first job, I was a fashion designer, and I've studied fashion design. So that's where like a lot of the fashion knowledge comes from, and then I fell into styling, and then I was like, oh, okay, like this is something I can do. And I don't think I'm the best stylist ever, nah, but I'm good at it. Yeah, like I'm good at it, right? I do think I'm an incredible fashion designer, but yeah, but that's like, okay, you know, because I have so much knowledge with fashion, it was easy to actually get into styling. But like Lebu said, like styling is not just about being stylish, doing your research, being educated and educating yourself, and having the personality, because you're gonna be in people's faces and their personal space. You need to like be conscious of those things. Like you also need to be able to take. Can I curse? You need to be able to take bullshit on set. Like, yo, the stuff that happens on set, you need to be ready. Like, you need a thick, like, skin, you know? Yeah, like, it can be very intense, you know? You get calls, like, the night of the thing, and then this has to happen. So you always have to be ready. And yeah, it can be crazy. It can be really crazy. So I feel like if you feel like you are ready for that move, like moving from your 9 to 5, and you think you're brave enough, you can do it. But I think do not leave your 9 to 5 if you don't think you're ready. And if your styling job is making you more money than your 9 to 5, then you can consider it. I think I also left my first job because at that time I realized, oh, like I could make dresses. So I'll make dresses on the side, and then I'll get money from that. And I was also getting money from styling. And I was like, oh, actually, I could actually do this for real, you know? And then I started working with other brands, like on a consultation basis. So that's something I also do that people are not aware of. It's like, if you're like a startup brand and you're like, hey, I don't know anything about production manufacturers, I have a lot of knowledge on that. I actually know a lot of manufacturers, people who sew, because I'm always sourcing, I'm always trying to find something. I'm quite resourceful in fashion in general. So that's why I was like, I can actually just be in the fashion pool, style, make dresses, and fashion consult. Like, yeah.
You're an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Very
Like
entrepreneur. Make some noise for entrepreneurship. I'm going to take a question there, and I want to come back to that question. Good sir, let's get it.
Hi. I wanted to ask, with styling, when you're starting off, does it come out of your own pockets? in terms of like the clothing and when you're styling specific artists, is it are you speaking to other brands and trying to get like a consultation from that? And with those consultations, do they give you a budget? Or like starting off, does it come out of your pocket or does it come from your client? And when you're starting off as well, how do you get your first client?
Okay, starting off, I was like, everybody should start being an assistant. I think that's something I'm noticing. A lot of stylists just jump to being a stylist because they are stylish and people are hitting them up and they're like, oh, please style me, please style me. And then because maybe you have like more followers, you're popular and stuff, and then suddenly you're like this amazing stylist. But when you're doing like commercials and stuff, you don't know certain things because you've never assisted another like HOD stylist. So I actually was intentional about learning from other people in the beginning, even though people were already hitting me up to do stuff. But on the side, I was like intentionally approaching other stylists to be like, hey, please, can I shadow you? Can I learn from you? And you know, in that, I got exploited a lot. So, you know, but you learn a lot from doing that. I think people should start learning, starting from the bottom. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, so be an assistant. Start there.
Let's finish your question, sir.
Oh yeah. So I was asking, you know, Rangsta and I always ask our friends who like convince their parents that, you know, I'm gonna do music, I'm gonna do fine art and stuff, like you doing fashion and styling as a result, you know. How do you convince your parents that, you know, as a 18-year-old kid to say I'm gonna do this thing? Like, basically what I'm asking you is that how feasible is the, like, your career path, you know? Are you, I love to ask this question. A lot of my musician friends who are killing it, I'm like, are you living nice of it? Like, are you living that equivalent life to a lawyer, or you still hustling like the rest of us who are still in 9-to-5s, you know? Like, is this a good career to have, you know? I know it looks incredible, aesthetics, I can't say that word, but yes, you guys get me.
Pleasing. Styling is aesthetically pleasing, but it's chaotic. It's not glamorous. It is not glamorous. But you can make a lot of money if you're smart, and if you position yourself correctly. And don't be afraid to ask for money. Like, I think a lot of stylists actually, I used to have fear. Like, oh, please style me out. And I'm like, okay, no problem. Then I'm like, wait, I just said okay. I didn't ask. I didn't ask like what's the budget, like what's going on, like getting paid and stuff. But it's not glamorous in a sense that I don't think it's regulated in South Africa like to be a stylist. So you have to face yourself and your finances and say, okay, I will not be doing 1, 2, and 3 if this artist cannot give me this much. You know, stuff like that. Like, have boundaries as well, like as a stylist. You know, I have worked with artists that I feel like I love their work, I love their music, and I am willing to do stuff for them for free. And I'm still doing that. Like, I genuinely still appreciate like an artist that's like, hey, I want to do this, but you have to be talented. You don't come to me and you have to be talented for me to do that. But with that is because I'm able to do those things because I'll make money elsewhere. Like I said, I have diversified. You know, so diversify. It's not that lucrative to be a stylist. It's actually quite expensive to be a stylist. Clothes are expensive, very expensive. So my advice is that create relationships with designers and brands. That's when you can actually make more money. Like, if you're friends with designers as a stylist, and I think stylists should be friends with designers and the design community at large. Like, be friends with tailors, be friends with like, and you know, buy them lunch, be like nice to them. Those are the people that are gonna put food in your mouth. Like, the designer, if you're gonna get something from them, try your hardest to return the stuff. Like, have good relationship with them. You know, I'm also still trying, like, building proper relationships with your fashion community as a stylist. You will make the money that you need to make, because then people have trust in you. You have trust in them. You have an ecosystem. Yeah.
One of the only remaining careers that AI cannot do. So make some noise for Phuti Styles,
Oh, shout out.
our incredible expert for the evening. Thank you for being an icon. Thank you for coming to share your insights and your experience, and just, filling the room with us, being the only person wearing pink, as always. One more time, make some noise for Phuti Styles. This is our Let's Touch Base conversation, where we speak about this thing of ours and how we can understand all the worlds that we coexist with. We're going to move on to our agenda on the right side of my hand, where you can see there are some incredible gentlemen already shooting up their weapons. But yeah, let's get ready. You guys can go help yourself to a beverage and get comfortable. There's food that's on sale. They just introduced bunny chows, guys. Lentils, chicken. Get one. I'm getting one. And don't forget, if you guys want to have a good idea about what this venue and our brand partner has to offer from a beer perspective, sign your name on the register. They'll take you downstairs during one of our breaks. You go and taste and tour the space, see what that's about. Some of you were here when it was the Orbit, if you're old. Some of you were here when it was Liano. Some of you were here when it was Jane Beehive. So there's a lot that you can take in. Phuti Styles, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
You are Touch Up alumni, first and foremost. This is not your first Touch Up, not your first rodeo. So thank you for coming home.
Thank you. I actually styled Leah for her first touch-up.
Oh, let's go.
You guys were at Baba.
We've been cooking.
Yes.
We've been cooking. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you so much.
I love South African alternative music, especially when...
Where's the...
All right.